Okay, so right now, right, you can see I have my 2 screw holes right here already at the 11 and 5 o'clock. So the next step we're going to do is to drill in the NCB screws. So this is your drill guide, variable angle drill guide. You get it? See, you can twist it all around. Of course, you want for this screw, you can just put it straight, like upwards actually. Shoot it outwards so you can capture more bone. You can put it a longer screw. Oh. Okay, the next step, of course, use your step gauge, which is put it in. Have a bi-conical reach, read off the reading, which is in this case 40, 38, 36, 34 mm screws. And for the other one, okay, so the other one you can keep it around 40. So let's just assume that we have this, the screws are ready. Get it loaded. It's not really self-holding, so again, be careful. So at this point of time, right, do not lock the NCB screw with the locking cap first until both screws are in, to get a sequential tightening. So this way of tightening has the same logic as when you are tightening your nuts for your tire. So you can spread the load around perfectly. So I see I tighten. Come back here to tighten again. Okay, I'm happy with it. Next, I'll put on with the locking cap with the blue color screwdriver with a torque limiter. So maybe you put it downwards. This screwdriver, this locking cap, right, is not being loaded this way. Okay, it's loaded from the concave downwards, this direction. Have the nurse place it on the table. Make sure you set the screwdriver on. Give it a bang so that it doesn't drop off. So go in and lock it. So where's my next cap? Again, let me repeat this. Your screwdriver, your locking cap should not be like that. This is a wrong demonstration. I repeat, this is a wrong demonstration. The locking cap should be upside down. Like that. Okay. Sometimes your surgeon is going to struggle putting the locking cap, but the only way that to make sure that the locking cap engages onto the screw, onto the thread, right, is that it's in the same direction as the screw hole. So in this case, see, it's in. Oops. So here. By right, you're supposed to turn until there is a duck sound, which let me try. But in this case, better not, because the sawbone is going to break. Yeah. So by right, when you use this torque limiter, as you do the sequential tightening of the set screw with the locking cap, you're going to tighten it so that the handle will slip and you'll hear a duck sound. So this is where the maximum torque has been reached. So if you're going to use more torque, if you're going to use this screwdriver, for example, to tighten the locking cap, there is a possibility that you will use too much of a force to tighten the locking cap and then it will cold out the whole thing. This is not what you want. So once this is in, you can show, okay, we have two granular sphere options. There's a 36 mm, we have a 40 mm. For Asian patients, 99% of the time we have been using the 36mm. We have never touched the 40mm ganosphere before. So you can straight away tell the surgeon to open the surgeon might straight away tell you to open the 36mm instead. So putting on this ganosphere seems very easy right here on the sawbone, but it's actually a very big challenge in the actual surgery. What I mean by this, so I'm going to remove the stand. So in actual surgery cases, even after you dislocate your shoulder, right, you have a lot of soft tissue around here. You still have your rotator cuffs, I've seen your muscle soft tissues and everything that is around here. And most of the time, right, they will always do a very small opening. So this is where they will struggle to put in this ganosphere because everything here is blocking. So they're gonna have retractors put down here to block this down, retractors here to open this, retractor here to open this. And there were some recommendations to release certain muscles, which we will play in the next video, which is done by a Zemo faculty surgeon on how to do certain releases to make sure that you can put in the ganosphere properly. But at this point of time, I'm going to tell you that this ganosphere insertion is going to be the toughest part of the surgery for the surgeon. Our site surgeons have been struggling from 10 to 20 minutes just to put this thing onto the base plate properly. But one key thing to take note, right, is our locking mechanism is using is a taper lock. There are no screws, no ring lock, etc. So right, in order for the taper lock to work, this thing must be very dry. They shouldn't have any blood or any soft tissue inside, because once there is soft tissue captured within the ganosphere or on the base plate, there is no way you can fix the ganosphere in. But once your ganosphere is in, it's actually very hard to take it out. You can see. So assuming that the doctor has put in the ganosphere, you can pass him the ganosphere impactor, which is these two tools. Get it fitted in like that. What? Okay. Use a mallet and just give it a light knob, and it's happy. So at this point of the time, okay. At this point of the time, we can trial with a 36mm liner. This is actually your green color is your 36mm liner, 0 degrees. There's no what do you call that, offset or anything. So if you once you can try this, put it here with the shoulder all in. So at this point of time, the surgeon will check for one thing, for the subluxation. So he will push the shoulder forward. Make sure that the ganosphere does not leave the liner more than 50%. So again, he'll do it backwards, upwards, downwards. So if he pushes it downwards and the whole thing slips below, right, it's too loose. Probably he has to use a 40mm trowel and a 40mm liner. But no. Okay, but I mean, anyway, we have not faced that situation before in Never. Most of the time, the surgeons are very happy with this trowel. With the 36mm ganosphere and the 36mm plus 0mm liner. So straight away, at this point of time, you can remove. So you can open the stem of the choice of stem, and you need to. Sorry, the handle is not released. Is not released. You have your implant over here. Again, the way to load the implant is the same way you load the stem, the trowel stem. You have a groove here. Make sure this groove sits into this groove, and then you squeeze the trigger down. So then you follow on by impacting the Okay, the stem in. Maybe I'll put this back here. Okay, assuming the stem is seated properly already. Of course, this is not the very best. Okay, assuming this is not the very best option. Of course, the last thing is just to open the liner and put it in.